Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It's December 16th, 2025. I hope the day is treating you kindly. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful that you exist in the world. So I do have some cards out here. I do not know how they do that when they stop and start, and then it works. So anyway, I had to stop and now I got to start. So we got the Four of Wands in the central energy here. So we've got the foundation. There's a homecoming. There's people coming together. And what we got here is somebody chasing after a quick gain. So they're scoping it out. They're scoping out this foundation, right? And they're targeting somebody for romance. In the challenge position, we have the Emperor. So he's the leader here of this territory. He is disciplined and focused, and he's watching everybody. This person who is coming forward to scam somebody in this territory is going to have an accident, or they had an accident. The Emperor is watching you. So they're having a car malfunction. Their car may have just broke down on the highway, on their way to go scam you, because they want to go live in the moment. You got your wish. You're going to live in the moment. They want to come and tap into you with some romantic gesture. But you've got this Emperor here, and he's taking his family's safety and well-being very seriously. It looks like you are a star. It could be that you are a healer, a rejuvenator. You have recovered. Maybe you've made a miraculous recovery after being imprisoned because you're a twin flame. So you have recovered. You've made a miraculous recovery. And now you've got somebody here targeting you for gain. We've got the Hierophant here in the recent past. Could be God. He's looking at those people who drink a lot, and then they argue a lot, and they make a whole lot of chaos in their mind, and then they spread that chaos around, and they're very stubborn, and they're very unreasonable. You can't speak any kind of logic, and they can't understand it, even if you could, because they're numb. They're comfortably numb. And now they're in a firestorm of karma because they've been screwing people over, targeting them with romance. A page. So a page has been targeting somebody for new love. It's a small offering. So first of all, they're numb. They're not thinking clearly. They're looking for quick gain. They're chasing a quick gain. They've seen you living in the moment, life of ease. They want to come in and get that. It could be that they're thinking about the star. They want to imprison the star. They want to imprison this twin flame. So they might be targeting somebody who's already in union, energetically, telepathically connected, and he may want to come in and try to attach himself to somebody so that they can maybe imprison both of them. But he's making a small offering. Temporary pleasantry is all he sees you as. It's not a serious relationship. Minor tokens of affection. There's legal matters here. There could be a divorce. They got to get divorced off the property. They got to give their property back. Criminal paternity. I heard somebody in the unseen last night say, "We have a child." And then another masculine was saying, "You have," what did he say? Entitlements. You're entitled. So there was a man, an older man, sitting there telling a younger man who had a child with somebody, hearing this, somebody looking for quick gain, somebody who offered a romance to a star, got them pregnant, and then they wanted to trap that star in this union. Comfortably numb. Firestorm of karma. Yeah, so there's legal matters because the Hierophant is here seeing exactly what has happened here. Dude's getting karma. He owes child support. So this fella, he never cared about that woman. She never meant anything to him. He targeted her because she has a life of luxury. He got her pregnant, and the only intention with that was that he would have an entitlement to the wealth, the spiritual inheritance that belongs to that child born of that star. The Hierophant is here saying, oh, hell no. You owe child support. Criminal paternity is what's happening in the legal matter right now. And the dude is drinking. He's drinking. He's all by himself. He's not celebrating with nobody. He doesn't want to be around anybody. He's mad. Heavy drinking right now. And he's dreaming about money, consumerism, need. You know, he's obsessing in the mental body, drinking heavily, doing some other stuff. He could be upset here. He's very upset because we're closing the cycle where they get to harvest the apple of God's family tree, the Homo sapiens, the human. These near duplicate copies, these pod people, have been eating the life force out of humanity, like harvesting their energy in order to keep from decomposing. So he's sitting there thinking, oh no, I need all that money. He thinks he has rights because he got somebody pregnant. He thinks he has rights to that child's inheritance and potential for future supported by the gift of Most High, because he thinks he deserves it more. He thinks that because it's his sperm that he gets to have the spiritual inheritance that the Most High God has allotted for that child. Isn't that interesting? And now he's in court. So he's got this moon card. He's got this moon card. He's a little bit afraid here to make the first move. He wants to go hit somebody up. Secluded. So you could be secluded. Maybe they have to stay secluded. Maybe they're in fear. There's like a no contact order or something. They're not supposed to bother you. But they want to get in on this. They were taking a risk. They were talking about breast cancer. They wanted to send breast cancer to somebody so that they could get them in for cancer treatment and destroy the energy production of their temple. Real pissants, man. Wanting to come in and smile in your face, give you a little tiny gift and tell you proper words of love with the pure intention of completely obliterating what comes from your womb and your own spiritual bank account allotted you by the Most High, because you are the star. Not only are you the star, you're the temperance angel. Daughter of Eden is what you are. You're the apple. They were not supposed to eat from that tree. But Adam didn't like Lilith because Lilith had a freaking head on her shoulders, and she's like, Adam, you're a whore and I don't want to do that. And he said, oh yeah? Well, we're just going to go consume you. I'll dress up my Eve. You know, clone of me made from my rib. Ooh, a clone of his own damn self. So anyway, third party situation. The Earth Angel star is dealing with a third party situation. This person is causing turmoil. The trust has been broken with this infidelity. We've got a shady workplace affair. So the thing is that we've got a 10 of Pentacles. So there's an inheritance here. And whoever's doing the workplace affair, whoever's coming up to the CEO, you know, delivering your coffee, like, ew, they want to mimic this 10 of Pentacles. And the way that they do that is to come up to you and they say, oh, at least I'm thinking, because that's what Spirit said. This is where it came. I didn't think this up. Spirit said this is the way it is. So you got two iPhones and they come up and they get in the energy and they go boop, boop, and all the value of your soul, all the value of your lineage, all the value of your ancestors, every ounce of shadow work that you have ever done, all of the things that you got going on, it's now been downloaded into that vessel of that sweet talker. And they can mimic the energy so that when they go into the astral or wherever, you know, I don't even know how they do it, but I'm thinking they probably wear a mask as though they are a 10 of Pentacles. And then they go in there and they start sweet talking people with your spiritual gifts to get more. Because if they can present themselves as a 10 of Pentacles, and they can use your spiritual gifts to tap in and sweet talk somebody who actually is that too, then maybe they can go actually get married or something. I don't know. This workplace affair is like a foot in, you know, this reckless sex. It's like you throwing away everything. I had no idea it was that serious. So on the outgoing energy, you've got the 7 of Swords here. So there's a betrayal. Somebody wants to commit fraud. They want to be tricky. And we've got lifesaver. So they're trying to trick somebody into saving them. They're drowning. They're going under. They don't have anything. They want to tap in to the spiritual inheritance that the Most High God has allotted this child that came from this womb that this person didn't give any care about. It was all to tap the spiritual bank account. That's it. And to bind a star, an energetic supply, a star, a temperance angel. So now they need you to come in and save them. They want to commit fraud. They want you to come in and save them. They're trying to get in their feelings. They're trying to give you flowers, trying to get into your feelings. Maybe you have an intimate encounter and you really get yourself all wrapped up in that. They're gonna siphon you. They're going to boop, boop, and they're going to take everything that you have built for yourself and they're going to download all of this trickery and fraud into you. Man. Legal matters. It could be that this is what they've been doing. And yeah, because then they mirror. Then they mirror you. Once they have that workplace affair and they boop, boop, they've just gathered all the information off your little iPhone and now boop, 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 boop. Oh yeah, mirroring. They're under pressure. They got karmic ties. These karmic ties they're under pressure. They're having anxiety because they're running out of time. They could be getting readings on you. They love you. They hate you. You are their side hustle. You're their side hustle. It could be that that's why they want to marry you. Some psycho might be coming in to marry you. They don't want to leave you go. You're the earth angel star. They want your energy. They need your energy. You got some psycho, Agent Smith, shape-shifting, whatever, coming in, playing games. They are operating secret accounts as you. They're pretending to be you. And it could very well be that you're blocking them, that they've been blocked. Maybe they're trying to block you by being you. This is a Jezebel that's happy being single. We've got bad news here. You're free. You are free because you're a beloved child of the Most High God and you have learned your karmic lesson. You've got nothing left to learn. And now these people are ashamed. They went the wrong way. They're losing sleep about a love message. Maybe they want to send you a love message. They're thinking about you. They're replaying everything that had happened. And it isn't just this lifetime. This is centuries, cycles and cycles and cycles. These guys, they had a lot of fun. Got all in their head about this sex addiction. You're turning your back on them. Because you know that they're doing love spells. They're doing love spells. They're drinking to coat. They're doing love spells. It could be that the love spell backfired. You turned your back on them. You're like, I'm done. And now this trickster is all effed up over you. Messed up in the head. And it's a jackass. This is a jackass. And you're taking your self-love and you're saying goodbye. Adios. Adios. You just go stay over there. You just go stay over there with your secrets. Okay, because you're rejected. This person may have trouble with the police station. Because right here we got malfunction with the vehicle. So there could have been something going on with the vehicle. They might have had something happen. The Emperor is watching very, very carefully. It's like these, you know, these are the apples. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in big trouble. What they are. Somebody's in big, big trouble. You know, I mean, it all makes sense now. You know, when I was asleep, you know, when I was young and I heard people talking about, you know, you heard people talking about, you know, you're going to go blind if you play with that, you know, and, or, you know, if you look at that, you know, whatever. And, all seemed very, very shallow until, I had my experience, and then I learned how to tap into the story. So, wild. I'm just going to pull these out. So we got illness, devil. Illness, devil. So look, man, you've got the Four of Wands. Somebody's chasing quick gains with romance. This is a sick devil, a psycho. We got a psycho devil looking into the territory, trying to get romance. Oh my gosh. A psycho devil, a sick, rabid devil. The Emperor is here causing this person a malfunction. Their vehicle's breaking down. Something's happening. They're challenged because you're getting your wish and you're going to have a life of leisure. They can't come toward you. These rabid, mentally whacked out devils, they can't come toward you. They're thinking about getting quick gains. They want to come toward you, but this Emperor is going to take them out, man. Nope, not going to do it. We got animal. Living in the moment. Animal. 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 What is the law? What rules apply here? It could be that they're challenged. They're an animal. I mean, we got this is a devil. And we got the dog, which is Cuja, which is from a 1980s movie where he gets rabies and he attacks its owner. And she's in this little car outside and they're way out in the middle of nowhere. And Cuja's going crazy. And her child are inside the car and it becomes a nightmare. So we got the sick devil. The devil is rabid in the mind. Oh my goodness. The devil was assuming their superiority, and it led to cruelty and the exertion of power by fear or force. So this is what he wants. He wants to bring this to the environment. And we have the Emperor here, causing him to have a malfunction. Now, vehicle could be an actual car, or it could be, you know, the vessel, which, you know, our internal mechanism is moving through space with. Animal. It's got the animal. Yeah, animal. So you're living in the moment. You're living in the moment. And it could be that whoever this is, they could be an animal, like a lower vibration. I mean, like you're a star seed, right? You come from whatever star system you come from, the internal of your temple, your house, right? You're the star. You could have renewed or miraculously recovered from some sort of an imprisonment. These hidden dangers. We got twin flames. You might be a twin flame. We got children of the night. The star, imprisonment, twin flames, children of the night. So that's this devil. The devil wants to get a romance, chasing after quick gain. They want to get a romance with this star because they got to trap the twin flames. They got to trap the twin flames. To them, it's forbidden for the twin flames to come together. So that's what they got in their subconscious. They're coming forward, chasing a quick gain and looking for romance. This is a rabid, Cujo devil. The Hierophant is here dealing with those who are always drunk, always high, in a firestorm of karma is what they are. Having a mental breakdown. You know, they're drinking all the time. That's what they're doing. They're having a mental breakdown. Look at this. Numbness. Right there. They're in a firestorm. They're having a mental breakdown. The Most High is just laying it on. Laying it on. Karma. Karmic return. Yeah, because restoring clarity is the first step in rebuilding trust. One message by Anu was the old dominion was here to ensure that the transfer goes as it's supposed to. But you got these devils who refuse to let go. They don't want to let go. We got big kahunas here from all over the place. So he says, first pest control and then restoration, right? So it's like we got folks from all over, limitless numbers of multiverses, you know, everybody who's supporting light and the opportunities that are presented here with what's happening for humanity. There was like 21 species of humans, and the only one left is Homo sapiens. All the other ones are extinct. These guys have been busy. We got dreams. So this person could be having a mental breakdown. They might be having nightmares. They might be getting chased after whoever that dude is on Elm Street. I think that's where it was from, but I don't remember his name. We've got the Page of Cups here. So he was making a new love offer, or he wants to, or maybe this is what he did, and the Hierophant's dealing with him. He's making a small offer. It's not real serious. There's legal matters because he thought that he had entitlement to the children's spiritual inheritance that was provided to them by the Most High. These nasty jacks were robbing the children of their inheritance that was for them, to support them through their life experience and the things that they would create and grow for their family. But you got these nasty jacks out here who think that they're entitled to the child's spiritual inheritance that was given to them by the Heavenly Father. Isn't that something? They may have a traffic ticket. They may go into court for a traffic ticket. This is criminal paternity. They're having children with the intention of abandoning the mother, making her raise the child without their support, while they slander her, brutalize her, because she is now a star trapped, just there to drain suffering energy off of, right? And feed the children of the night, the midnight gremlins. So there's legal matters. There's legal matters because they've been snacking. They've been consuming. And this is over. They've been consuming from the tree that God told them not to eat from. The apple is the daughter of Eden, and there are many. And probably the sons, because I'm sure it's not all female apples on that tree. Midnight. Closing the cycle with the midnight gremlins, the midnight harvesters, the ones who astral project and go into everybody's house and spy on them as they're moving around throughout their day, and then they mirror them. They're in the energy all the time. It was such a bad situation, you know. For those who weren't aware of it, they were just moving through life wondering why it sucked so bad, having arguments with everybody, thinking that it was those people in flesh suits in their environment that was causing it all. But you got invisible people, you know, they go up and they poke you, they do kinds of things, you know, and then they laugh. They sit back and laugh while you argue with somebody, while you have that fight that they tried to push you into, and you went for it and you claimed it and you did it, and they're so clever, and they consider themselves conquerors, you know, over people who don't even know that they're being mind driven, messed with. It's delusional. It's sincerely delusional. So we've got the moon card. So we got somebody's having anxiety. They don't want to reach out first. They're nervous about reaching out first. Secluded. There could be a separation, some kind of reflecting, soul searching. Somebody's doing soul searching. They don't want to reach out first. They could be worried about the cat. They want a cat. These people were trapping all the cats. The Lemurians, they really went after them. This is an ancient war. It's been going on for several centuries. You know, you got those statues of those giant bearded men, and they got the lion under one arm, like they're, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Yeah. So the temperance angel is here looking at these third parties who have been causing struggle for everybody and turmoil. So with workplace, shady workplace affairs. So, you know, you got, and this has been going on for a long, long time, you know, back in the day when people pretended that marriage was faithful and true. You know, the guy would always wear his three-piece suit, go to work, be important, have affairs with his little secretary, go on business trips, you know, while mother and the children's stay at home. And it was a real nasty situation, you know, while they were out there with their mistress. So anyway, that's what's going on. You know, you got people with these workplace affairs being real shady, unintentionally or ignorantly handing over the wealth that belongs to their family, their wife, their children, their ancestors, everybody. It's so irresponsible, ignorant. We got fire. They could be going up in flames. The temperance angels, starlight, fire, flame, could be actually burning it up. Burning it up. Because they were mimicking successful people's 10 of Pentacles wealth. They were mimicking it through these sexual encounters. And the thing is that they were talking about, this curator was talking about the Valentine Mistress, which is February 13th. That's the day when these CEOs and others celebrate their union with their mistress, and then they go and honor their wife on the 14th, right? And they're mimicking this spiritual wealth, and they're doing their sweet talking people with those spiritual gifts, and, you know, charming them out of this stuff. Escape. Sweet talk. They're sweet talking with your spiritual gifts. They're mimicking the energy of success, of wealth, of high value. And they're out there sweet talking people and having workplace affairs and wearing the energy of a high value person that when they're not, you know. So they kind of, somebody just gave away their high value, and you got this person out there running around acting as though they are, but they're not, because they're nasty. You know, they're the third parties. They're going out just being nasty. They take this CEO's energy. They have the office place affair. They tap that energy, and then everybody she is sweet talking or in with has access to that energy. And this says, a long time ago, in the underground realm where there are no lies or pain, let yourself sleep. So they're sweet talking people in the underground realm, taking your gifts to the underground realm and mimicking you there, as above, so below. But it was all an illusion. And the thing is that, you know, this may very well may be the below right here. And you stars and stuff, you came down here to kind of like figure it out. Fate. So we got betrayal, 7 of Swords here. They need you to save them. We got lifesaver. They're in their feelings. They want to tap into yours. They want to give you flowers. But this is what they intend for your fate. This is their fate. They want to swap places with you. They got to tap into you and your emotions. And the thing about this is that these are near perfect copies. The difference is that they don't love, not like we love. They feel that our emotions are weakness, because we always fall for the love bombing, gaslighting thing. We always fall for the, I want to have a child with you, and then they disappear and never offer to buy diapers or anything. So yeah, they just want to tap that spiritual inheritance and bind you. That's their intention here. Water, they want to, look, they're obsessed. They're obsessed with you. The water, they've been tapping into the mental body, the gifts, the intellectual properties of these temperance angel stars for a long, long time. They're obsessed by it. They've got broken minds, and they're on the other side. But you're the antidote. If they can tap your mind, then they can feel as though they're not insane, because that's their natural state on the other side. They want to wear the face of peace. They want to appear as though they are you, while you appear as though you are them. And the beast has you in their hand, and they're filming it all, calling it the lifetime story of Earth Woman. Yeah, as she's chased by nature, consuming her, being consumed by these cujos, these rabid devils, these hybrids, genetic. I guess the thing is, this curator was doing genetic experiments and stuff at in 1930 at the concentration camps. He was trying to develop a superior race or army or whatever. Yeah, he really was. So, but turn off the ringer. Don't take the call, because they want to harvest you. If you go to that party on New Year's or whatever, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. The pet cemetery is in grief. Yeah. They're in grief. They don't want to leave. They don't want you to leave. They don't want to be separated from your energy. They don't want to be separated from temperance and star. You're the one who gives them life. But they went ahead, after dressing up in your energy and your temperance and star energy, your high priestess energy, emperor Hierophant energy. They went around and continued to be, a third-party hoe bag. So they defiled your energy as they played in it. They got that connection, and then they went out and dumped all of this nastiness into the field through that connection. And they made it appear as though you were that. Because that's what would happen to the CEO's wife with this shady miss who's having a workplace affair. She dumps all that crap, downloads all this other, and then the wife takes on this filth. And her identity is seen as this woman. And that's the gift that reckless sex and infidelity and all of that has. It just destroys people and their family and all of their potential for their lineage. It's crazy. You know, and you got people out there and they're like, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have a family, I don't want to be responsible, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And I don't know how much of that is actual programming by these beautiful subliminal and you know, not easily detectable ways to drive a mind and a circumstance, I suppose. You know, I mean, we're in the 10, like this is the end, this is the omega, so everything is ultra intense. So we got the foundation here. There's a foundation and somebody is speculating a romance. They're looking for quick gain. Maybe they already have, and I think they still are. We're coming up on the end of the year, and I think there is some kind of a thing about the end of the year. Once we hit 2026, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's pretty much over. We got so what's going on is everybody's kind of in their role. And what I experienced today was, so I went through emotions. It was incredible. Let me tell you about this. So I was sitting there, right? And I was feeling all loving and warm, and life was so good and just beautiful, bright, good stuff, right? And then I had a vision of the lower portion of a woman standing before me or somebody. And instantly the mind went, you know, kind of south note. And it was strange, you know, because it was like all of these beautiful, warm kind of feelings of romance. And then I had that vision. And then the mind said, oh, whoever's sending you these warm visions is actually looking at somebody else. And that's what these feelings are all actually directed to. You're just picking up on it as an empath. And then I started to feel kind of, violated, you know. I went through all these different, and then I started thinking, well, wait a minute, because I don't have a proper knowing, right? I mean, anybody can pop you a vision or pop you some verbiage, and you know, depending on your mindset, you can either pick it up and claim it and run with it and wrap it up and make a pretty little package of electricity out of it and throw it at somebody. Or you could just say, you know what, I don't have proper knowing. It could very well be that somebody's trying to trigger me, because the other day I was hearing these curators and their friends, they were asking for many days in a row, actually, they were inquiring and quizzing each other over somebody's sensitivity, right? And their jealousy. Are they jealous? They kept asking each other about that. So, you know, when this happened to me, I was like, whoa, okay, well, obviously, I think this is a interference because of what I had been hearing them talk about. And, but the weird thing about it is like this feeling came over me into my heart space, and it expanded out. It was like a heartbreak, a massive heartbreak, where everything kind of exploded into like a cosmic, like it felt like a galaxy kind of spinning inside my chest. And it was like wide open. And the strange thing is it like went way up here, and then it went way down here into my solar plexus, and it extended out beyond my shoulders. And it was just like this spinning galaxy out there, beautiful stars and stuff, but it was expansive, and it, you know, it was uncomfortable and stuff. And I had to sit there, and at first I was going to say, well, I'm not going to allow my heart be broken by something that I don't have proper knowing of, right? I mean, it's just silly. It's a mind game. Is what it is. It's just a mind game. And what was strange about it was that I discovered that what felt like a heartbreak was like this massive, it's like I disappeared in this spinning, what felt to be galaxy, this massive emptiness that wasn't empty, and yet it was contained, you know? Blew my mind, actually. So anyway, yeah, it took a while to kind of breathe through that one, but it was interesting. And I don't know, maybe you've had some things like that too. Forgot where I was going with that. So we've got the Four of Wands, a homecoming. You've got the foundation here of marriages, of families, and you've got somebody speculating this illness, this rabid Cujo devil is speculating on chasing after some quick gain in this territory. So he's targeting somebody for romance. They need a haven. The devil needs a haven. This rabid devil needs a haven. And they're targeting a star, temperance angel, so that they can be covered by the energy and the foundation and the home and have a place to go and be, but they're not interested in it. It's really shallow, you know, they're really not interested in it. They just want to go, you know, have a child and then claim the spiritual inheritance from this Heavenly Father, the Most High, you know, as their own. So it's kind of weird. So they're looking for a home. They're looking for a haven. The Emperor is here causing them a malfunction. Now, whether that be a malfunction to their actual vehicle or whether that be a malfunction to their vessel, their vehicle, the temple, which is moving them around on 2 feet, you know, they're because they're challenged, and because you got your wish, you're going to be having a easy, nice, comfortable life. And they're challenged because they're this animal that's dependent on you. An intelligent animal. They could be from the earth, whereas you are from the stars. So they're looking for a home, and the Emperor is causing them a malfunction. They're an animal. And we got divine intervention. Serendipity. Again, we got serendipity. I saw that somewhere. So serendipity, we got divine intervention. Karma is going to be delivered to anybody who tries to come in and get near you. I heard that there was a no contact order. They're not to come in here and target like this. It's forbidden. The star is there. So they're thinking about what they're thinking about in the subconscious, this Cujo devil, right? This rabid devil. They want romance with the star so that they can bind the twin flame to the children of the night. That's what they want to do. That's what they've been doing. They come in and they interfere. It doesn't work without a relationship. They got to come in and they got to play the part. And you, as a divine being, need to wait patiently while the Most High God and these other beautiful divine masculines who are our new foundation keepers manage this, because it's going on. It's too soon to do anything, right? So that's because what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing. They've been binding the star, imprisoning the star, the twin flames, in this children of the night. They got gamble. They're wanting to take a gamble. So they're gambling. And the Emperor is causing them a malfunction. Divine intervention. The Hierophant is here dealing with these youngers, these people who are drinking all the time, fighting in the mind, fighting with others in their mind. You know, this alcohol. So when you drink alcohol, it loosens up the mind, and it also opens up all of the energetic gates. And it allows other spirits, the invisible ones that are spying on you and stuff, to kind of step in, have a few drinks, and maybe drive you home or get you in a wreck or whatever, you know. So now the Hierophant's dealing with them. And they're in a firestorm of karma, having a mental breakdown. They could be getting bad dreams, nightmares, forgotten person. They could be dreaming of a forgotten person. They could be dreaming of somebody that I don't know. They're dreaming of a past person, a forgotten person. The Hierophant's dealing with it. Page of Cups wants to make a new love offer. A small offer, just enough to get somebody hooked. There's legal matters here. Divorce, property, criminal paternity. They were premeditatedly getting a bright, beautiful star, earth angel, pregnant to bind them to a child of the night, somebody that doesn't have this great light, and then snack on them, feed on them, have a harvest. So they're being sued. There's legal problems. Because you're not in bondage. They're not able to bind you. So they were eating you, so they can no longer bind you. You're not tormented. They're not able to torment you with this. Wasn't very nice. Uninvited guest. Uninvited guest isn't able to torment you. You didn't invite them. They're not invited. They're not supposed to be in this territory. Apparently, the magistrate does not want these ones in there. They're the intelligent animals, these children of the night. They go around, they get into the energy of someone and they use their magic to tap the consciousness, and then they read the thoughts, take the energy, all these workplace affairs. That's how they get their gain. They go and they get all of your information, and then they bring it back to the devil, and the devil gives them some of it. And they're like, ew. And then they get the potential of actually replacing you and getting that bump, those iPhones, bump, and then becoming you. That's what their intention is. That's what they've been doing. It's terrible. So we got somebody here who is drinking. 3 of Cups in the reverse. They don't want to talk to nobody. It's not a party. They're out there drinking heavily by themselves, thinking about consumerism, thinking about what they need, thinking about consuming the apple, the star, the beautiful energy of these women that they would lure in and get pregnant just so that they could tap into the child's spiritual inheritance from the Most High. We're closing the cycle of them eating on God's family by the midnight gremlins. These midnight gremlins, the children of the night. No more feeding on the apple, on the rose, and turning them into prostitutes, into street exhibits. So they're in fear. They're in fear. They got the illusion here. They're reaching out first. They're afraid of reaching out first. They're trying to hide. We've got secluded, soul searching regarding the separation of the cat. And that's the thing, these guys have been talking about, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. They've been doing this to the Lemurians and the, I don't know, there's probably plenty of cat tribes out there, but years ago, I entered a house, and I don't know if this was a house from a previous life or whatever, but there was a false wall and like a hallway's width of a space between that and the original wall. And when I went in there, there was some old furniture, and a lot of cats were in there. A whole bunch of cats. So, secluded the cat. They want to reach out first. They're afraid of reaching out. Cool down. Cool down. Pause. Secluded cat. They're afraid. Reaching out first. Separation. Cat. I like the dark. It's friendly. The cat has embraced their hunting instincts. It could be that somebody's afraid of reaching out first because you are, what? Separated. You're secluded. They got to leave you alone. There's a no contact order. They're supposed to stay out of your space. They're going to have a malfunction. The cat is embracing their hunting instinct and cooling down, pausing, calming down, embracing your so the cat is hunting. The cat is on the hunt. The cat is on the hunt. Anybody who comes forward into this space is going to get hunted down by the cat. Temperance angel is here. Bringing balance, restoring balance to these third-party, shady workplace affairs. There is fire here. That could be angelic fire regarding communications records. Fire. Somebody's fire. Call records, instant messaging. Fire. Somebody's burning the records. Somebody's burning the records. It could be that temperance angels are burning the records and the communications, the calls, the instant messaging, all of that digital data of the catfishing copycat. It's all being burned. It's all being burned. So they're undoing the stuff. Now, I don't know if this is actually Melania she's talking about, or if she's pilfering an Earth Angel's intellectual property. I don't, and then broadcasting it as being her on the TV. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But that's usually how these kinds of governments operate. They plagiarize others. We've already seen instances of that. So please take it as it resonates. In the history. Yeah, there's nothing more embarrassing when you plagiarize an entire freaking speech live to an audience. So there's a 10 of Pentacles. Somebody is trying to mimic your value. Sweet talking with the spiritual gifts not belonging to them. They're trying to escape. They want to be seen as you. There's a no contact order. Yeah, you've escaped. You're fiercely independent and free. Great shadow, great light. Somebody is here, this sweet talking, shady work affair. They're burning all of their messaging. They're deleting all of their accounts. They're trying to hide this third party person who has been, this could be the Valentine, what do they call that? Mistress, the Valentine Mistress, whose holiday is February 13th, I guess. I didn't even know that. And why did they apply the 13th to that? I just don't like it. You know why? Because 13 is a sacred number of divine feminine, and they turned her into a prostitute, gave her the number. Bullshit. So there's fraud and trickery here. Somebody wants you to save their life. They want you to get all up in your feelings and come forward, deliver your fate to them so that they can bind you. They want you to trade places. They want you to save them so that they can bind you. Third party. It could be that the fate of this third party is a binding. They're in their feelings. Maybe they're in their feelings over this affair. They were trying to do trickery. They still are. They're trying to get somebody to save their life. There's going to be all kinds of reckless sex on these holiday celebrations. It's going to be so freaking sad. Look for, investigate, look for the soul song, the singer, the bright star, the one who sings the soul song, who's not drinking. They're not drinking alcohol. They're not partying. And we got reconciled in divine timing. You're letting go. You could be letting go of the hidden things. The hidden things, the forbidden love, the forbidden stuff, that taboo stuff. Because now you got a new beginning and you've got an encounter coming up, a love at first sight for the apple. The apple. The apple and her animal friends. Her cats, her dogs, all them goods. So that's good. Yeah, sixth sense. Fortune. And ascending. And commitment. There's unfinished business here. So there's back and forth. You could be in various dimensions. Right now, you could be traveling between the 3, 4, 5, and other. Lower or higher, depending on the need, I suppose. Because if you are the Emperor, Hierophant, Star, Temperance Angel, High Priestess, then you are rooted deeply, and your branches climb high. So you could be going back and forth between these various realms in your various roles to discover the baggage, release the baggage, carry the energy between spaces and places, and the information that comes through, right, into these other spaces. And I think sometimes that's why we go into the darker spaces, is so that we can take the light there, reveal what is hidden, and then kind of clear it out, right? So we got unfinished business with the crown. Look at that. There you are. You and your person, the crown. So, and you got, you're breaking up with trash. You're bringing an end to the trash with the mirror. There's law, there's photographs, there's the law here. And you see here in the environment, they're burning the evidence. There's a fire, and then there's communications records, call records, instant messaging, all the messaging this third party had about the workplace affair, the shady workplace affairs. Yeah, it's coming out. And there's photographic evidence. There's law going on. Oh, because this isn't just about infidelity. It's about hijacking the spiritual inheritance that the Most High God gave his family, and keeping his children silenced and confused in this in an illusion, hidden in an illusion, in the sunset of the snake, under the lies of the snake, under the shadow of the snake. There's a change here, a transformation, and a miracle. Yeah, and a miracle. But you've got, so those who have the toxic attachments, they are addicted to your talent, to being you, to balancing yourself, your inner waters with this temperance energy. They're like, miss you, you're the key. And they're like, oh no, they were the core of the problem, and now they need to come back and get that key. This is a clown. They may try to camouflage themselves to get revenge. Maybe they were a clown to do such things. You've solved the puzzle, and you did it on your own. Yeah, and this is the end of their opportunity to be with you. They're in eternal regret. And now the shadow, they want to run away, right? Because the rose is wide awake, clean energy, and mind and heart, and decisive here. Making a wish. Well, we've used all the new decks. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here since we're at just about an hour. I hope that this brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.